Good morning and good afternoon. Welcome to this webinar on the socialprotection.org platform. My name is Patricia. I'm the Senior Knowledge Management Assistant here at socialprotection.org. And this webinar will work as an introduction to the platform and also as an invitation for you to join us and make use of the platform the best way you can. And I'm going to introduce you all the features and services that we provide on the platform, and you can always send us questions and any comments you have through the chat. So let's start. The socialprotection.org is an online knowledge sharing platform and a capacity building platform that is open to practitioners, professionals, policymakers, students, academics, basically everyone. We provide free access to up-to-date and very comprehensive content on social protection, and we divide this content in over a dozen different features or content types. I'll get to it in a minute. And socialprotection.org is unbranded and is a member-based platform, meaning that anyone can access it and contribute to it. So it's a collaborative tool that invites people to contribute to it. We actually encourage members to contribute to our database and to interact with other members whenever they want. So socialprotection.org's content is divided in 4 pillars: discover, connect, learn, and share. The features are going to be introduced in a bit, but basically you can find this content on our website, and it's very user-friendly and easy to access. So I'm going to start explaining a little bit about the features in a bit, but all the content on social protection is listed like this. So we have a listing format, as you can see. It's very intuitive, very user-friendly. And we also have this on the right, as you can see, a mechanism for search within the content type, besides the global search mechanism that we always have available. And we also have our tailored filters on the right, as you can see. So each content is categorized and curated to be found through these filters and easily if you need to find something very specific. So I'll start talking a bit about the Discover pillar. First, about our publications, multimedia, and databases. Our publications are basically text resources, or a database of multiple reports, articles, research papers, policies, legal documents. Everything that is in a text format is uploaded on the platform as a publication. And we also have a multimedia content that are the non-text resources like audios, videos, interviews, presentations, online tools, and any other material that is not a text material. And we have the databases from other organizations. There are databases on social protection and organized by different stakeholders. So you can find all this content in the sections of publication, multimedia, and databases respectively on the platform, and always use the filters on the right side to find the specific content that you want. Right now, socialprotection.org has over 5,000 items on its databases of publications and multimedia and databases as well. And so it's a massive database on resources on social protection, and it's updated almost daily. We also have blog, news, events, and jobs. We have opinion pieces on the blog from members, so anyone can upload its blog or an opinion piece or an article on socialprotection.org. It's great for visibility. And the blogs also serve as a summary for our webinar. So every time we have a webinar, I'll get to that as well, we have a following summary in a format of a blog. So right now we have over 280 blogs published on the platform. And as usual, anyone can do it. We also have news on social protection collected daily. We have events. You can always share events on the platform or check events that are going to happen in your area. Conferences, workshops, forums, debates, any event that is related to social protection will be there from our side, and you can always share your event if you want to give more visibility to it. We also have a section on jobs and call for papers and other work opportunities on different countries and different organizations. Next, we have programs. The programs are a very special feature from socialprotection.org, as they are a profile of social protection programs from around the world. They are developed in partnership with the IPC-IG researchers, and their objective is to present in a very friendly and easy access and user-friendly way of seeing the main characteristics of our program. So each profile contains the key information of the program, and we have over 500 program profiles from over 100 countries right now on the platform. So you will be able to see and use the filters already as well to find specific programs on your country and to see the main characteristics like the objectives of the program, the type of the program, the expenditure, and other information. Next, we have the Connect pillar. And Connect pillar, we have the members and the stakeholders mainly. We have a database of almost 5,000 members, and it's a massive database of people that are interested in social protection or their work with social protection. And we have also a database of stakeholders that as well are related to social protection somehow, or provide some content on that exists on the platform. So today we have over 1,300 profiles of stakeholders on the platform. It's important to mention that each stakeholder profile, each stakeholder page holds every information that stakeholder holds in the platform. So if you enter on one or IPC-IG, for example, on the platform, you will see all the publications added from IPC-IG that exist on the platform on its page. And the members as well, if you want to check other members that work in social protection in your country or within your organization somewhere else, you can always check and use the filters that we have for our contents to find people and connect with them. Next, we have the social space, which was a feature designed recently. The social space is our social network. It's a space that's designed to integrate and connect members. So instead of only accessing the content that we curate, you can always follow people and see the content that they marked as favorite or the content that they uploaded. So if you're interested in the work that someone does or the work that they upload on the platform, you can always follow that person, and you have this on this timeline all the content that they upload. Next, we have the online communities, which are a very big feature on the platform. The online communities are basically virtual working groups, and they are created to encourage knowledge sharing and capacity building and debates on a specific social protection topic. So basically, anyone can create a community about a subject on social protection that interests you and share documents and engage with other practitioners also interested in that subject. I'm going to get to the tools in a bit, but basically these spaces are designed to facilitate interaction and discussion and collaboration between members. And it's also important to say that each online community can serve as a repository, as a meeting place or a forum. They are often used after events, so people can have one place to share all the documents related to this event, or a working group that is constantly sharing information on a subject. And these communities can be either public, so anyone would be able to join, or could be private, so it depends on approval, the membership depends on approval, or even hidden. So if you have a closed event, for example, that you want to create a community so you can keep discussing the outcomes of this event, you can always put the community as hidden. So only the people that have the link would be able to access it. Today, socialprotection.org has 47 online communities, and we have ones that are very active. The social protection in crisis context, for example, the gender responsive social protection. We have very interesting communities going on and very active. So I invite all of you to join them. So regarding the online communities too, I think it's important to mention everything that the online community can do. So you see that it's a very helpful tool for knowledge sharing and capacity building. So at first we have the discussions. So members can ask and answer questions or start debates and discuss policy issues on that little part that was signed. And then there's documents, so people can always share a document that is important for the community, like a meeting minute or a report or something. We also have the calendar, on which members can add events and meetings, other important dates for the community, and the announcements, in which members can add news or information that is relevant for the other members of the community. So the online communities are very comprehensive tools. There are other things as well. We have an about section that describes the community's objectives and origin. We also have community resources that are like blank pages in which members can add links and resources in other formats that perhaps are not suitable for adding as documents. And we have the working groups, which are specific groups inside the community. It's very useful, for example, when we have courses or a community of students, for example, you can divide that community and work in parallel with specific working groups dedicated to one more specific subject. So as you can see, the communities are very comprehensive tools, and there are a lot of resources designed to encourage this knowledge sharing and facilitating this engagement between members. The Learn pillar. We have the glossary, which is a collaborative collection of definitions on social protection. And each definition has mostly a lot of different terms by different institutions. So each term has more more definitions and different definitions, so you can see the difference between the perspectives of each institution. And we also have a glossary specific on the term social protection, so you will be able to see the different perspectives and different angles that organizations use regarding the definition of social protection. We also have the surveys that you can use to gather information either on social protection programs. You can ask anything about the knowledge that people have on a social protection program, for example, or specifically about the demographic or the, I don't know, qualifications of the members and social protection professionals that are on the platform. So basically the surveys are an open feature that you can use to serve any purpose that you need. So here is a little image of the survey. You can always check it on the website as well. We also have the live streams. The live streams are fairly recent to the platform. They are basically broadcasts of events happening worldwide. And we've broadcasted conferences, workshops, debates, and basically any event happening on social protection, and including in multiple languages. So if there's a conference happening, we can always live stream that conference and give access to people, since not everyone will be able to join that conference in person. And users can access a detailed agenda on the event and set up calendar reminders for each section, so you don't have to keep a tab open with the conference happening all day. You can always remind yourself of one specific session and just join that session. Here is an image. You can always see the feature on the website, but you can see that there's a detailed agenda and the links for each language, and also everything that you need regarding the information on the event itself. Also, if you have interest in one event that already happened, or if you can make it on time to the live broadcast, you can also access the recordings of the sessions. We have everything organized in playlists on our YouTube channel, and also on the website. You can always check the live stream page, and the links will be there for the recordings. And until now, we have live streamed 13 events with over 5,000 live viewers. Next, we go to e-learning. I'm sorry if I'm rushing too much. If you have any questions, please go ahead and ask. The e-learning is a feature that we're developing a lot since the past years, more since the past year. And we have the e-learning courses basically divided in self-paced course, instructor-paced course, and the virtual campus. We have on the e-learning feature the courses that are offered by other institutions and also offered by us, socialprotection.org. So we have the self-paced courses that are courses in which students can work on their own pace and access the classes whenever they want, and do the assignments at any given time. We have the instructor-paced courses, which are synchronous or asynchronous, but they always have an instruction to facilitate the learning process. And on the virtual campus, we have our e-learning environment. It is a Moodle-based e-learning environment. They host all the courses produced by socialprotection.org and its partners, and they are designed to facilitate e-learning and have tools of interaction between the students and the teachers and facilitators. And I'm going to show more detail in a minute. So socialprotection.org has so far developed 9 e-courses, and in English, French, and Spanish, with partners like ILO, UNICEF, FAO, and other stakeholders. In total, these courses that we did so far were attended by over 370 students from 54 countries. The e-learning courses provide a certification if completed in total, and it's anyone can join them. As I mentioned before, the platform's e-courses are offered in this virtual campus, that it's a Moodle-based one, and it looks like this, more or less. And once you enter a course, you'll be taught how to manage the e-learning environment, but it's very intuitive, very user-friendly. It's designed to facilitate the e-learning process, and people usually enjoy it a lot because they can interact with the other students and ask questions and everything. Regarding the e-learning, some updates on our side is that in March, socialprotection.org will launch the 5th run of its flagship e-course. It's called eTransform. We'll have also other editions of e-courses that we produced in the past in partnership with FAO, launching in April and March. And we are also proudly developing mini courses on basic concepts of social protection. So we are partnering with IPC-IG researchers to develop mini courses on the basics, the very basics of social protection. Keep in touch. Lastly, on our features, we have the webinars. The webinars are our flagship feature. They are very successful, and we have always a lot of attendees. They are basically online seminars on social protection topics, and we have key experts from the field presenting on those webinars. Some webinars topics include health, shock responsive, social protection, child rights and children, and gender, and climate change, for example. Each webinar, after it happens, they have a recording of the webinar. So if you can't attend the webinar for some reason, you can always watch the recording afterwards. There is a blog post afterwards with the summary, as I mentioned before. We also make available the presentation slides. So if you're watching a webinar and you're seeing the presentation that the expert is doing, you can always access it later. And lastly, we always have the consolidation of the Q&As that happen during the webinar. All of this is done by the socialprotection.org team in partnership with the panelists and the experts. For the panelists and experts that conduct the webinar, we always send them as well the information on the participation. So we can send detailed information on who watched it, from where they are, how much time they stayed connected, and also the answers to the post-webinar satisfaction survey. So the webinars, as I mentioned, are a very important feature for us. So far, we developed 116 webinars with many panelists and experts in different topics. Well, we have over 7,000 attendees and many thousands of registrants. And we had over 25,000 YouTube views on the webinars. So the recordings are also very popular. Lastly, we need to mention the communications and social media of socialprotection.org. Socialprotection.org has profiles in basically all the main social media channels like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. And since we are a database of almost 5,000 members, it's a very, our communication tools are very powerful ways of promoting some kind of content and specific content that you may want to disseminate. So just to mention a little bit about our reach, we have almost 3,900 members subscribed to our newsletter. It's a monthly newsletter in which we promote specific content. Normally we choose a topic for each month, and then we present curated content on that specific topic. So it's a large database of subscribers that are monthly receiving this content. We have over 4,000 followers on Facebook, over 3,000 followers on Twitter, and over 2,000 followers on LinkedIn. So we have a very good reach on social protection and social protection practitioners and specialists. How are we supporting self-cooperation in social protection specifically? So we are promoting synergies and collaboration among institutions. We can do this through the webinars, for example, put experts to collaborate and present a webinar in one specific topic, or integrate people through the online communities. We are an unbranded place to host multi-stakeholder projects as well. Any of our features can be used by multiple stakeholders to connect with its audience and our audience of professionals. We are promoting discussion and capacity building. So through the webinars and through the online communities, through the e-courses, we are always trying to facilitate engagement and facilitate discussions on social protection. And lastly, we are building a social protection community through our social space, through our communities, through our social media. And so we are creating solid community of social protection practitioners. And how can we support you? You can always, as a member or as a user, you can always access social protection content anytime you want and collaborate with the platform and enjoy all the features that I just presented to you. As an organization, we can facilitate and foster knowledge sharing and capacity building. So we can do the webinars, online courses, and facilitate interaction on the online communities. We can also disseminate content and activities through different communication channels, through the newsletter, through the social media, or even through the platform itself, such as events or live streams. We can always disseminate that content on the platform. And lastly, we can connect people and organizations working on social protection through our database of members and our social space and online communities and all of our features. So basically, these were the features of socialprotection.org and our services. If you have any questions or suggestions, we would like to hear from you. Please send your questions through the chat, or you can always get in touch on the emails on the screen, or on the contact part on the website. I invite you all to join the platform as members and to make use of it and enjoy it and collaborate to it. And we're here if you need us, and we're here to answer all your questions. Thank you. So thank you all for your participation. I hope you enjoyed this webinar. If you couldn't watch it on time, or if you couldn't watch the whole presentation, you can always access the recordings afterwards on socialprotection.org. And again, you are welcome to send us any questions you want. So thank you again for your participation, and I hope you enjoy socialprotection.org. Have a good day.